Hello, today I will be demonstrating how to shoot trap. The first thing you're going to need to know when shooting trap is the rules of gun safety. The first rule is always keep your finger off the trigger. The second rule is to treat every gun as if it were loaded. Third rule, never point your gun at something you don't intend to shoot or destroy. And the last rule is be sure of your target and what's beyond. When shooting trap, you're going to need a couple of items. Your first item is a shotgun. Your second item, some hearing protection. Your third item, probably some ammo. Your fourth item would usually be some safety glasses, but I happen to have a pair of Pit Vipers right here. Good. All right, so here is a pump action shotgun. It's called a pump action because you pump it to load around. So I'll grab a shell right here, put it in here, chambered, or load it from the bottom. So that's a pump action. Now let's go over a semi-auto. It's basically the same, but instead of pumping it after you shoot, it does it by itself. Chambers, you're good. Or like I just demonstrated, load it from the bottom. So with that, after every time that you shoot, you have to pump it. But with this, it automatically chambers a new round for you. And that's about the only difference. Remember to keep your safety on at all times. And this is kind of unique. You got to press this little lever right here. It'll lock your slide back, stuff like that. Or if you have a round in your tube, you click that and it drops it down into there. And that's how you chamber it. When shooting trap, you can also only have one round in your gun. So usually put a rubber band, if it's a semi-auto, around it. So then when it kicks your shell out, it stays in there. You don't have to pick it up later. So you're never allowed to have any in the tube when shooting trap. You can only have it right here. And when it's your turn, click that, chambers around for you, and you're good. All right, the rules of trap are there's 5 stations. You shoot 5 shells at each station, which equals 25 shots, which equals 1 box of ammo. So let's say I started at station 1. I'd shoot my 5. I'd walk to the next one, shoot 5, walk to the next one, shoot 5, you get it. Let's say you sign up for spot 2, you start right here. Once you get to 5 and you shoot yours, you'd walk behind everybody else, back to spot 1, and you're done there. Another really important part about trap is your choke. So in my gun, I run what's called a Skeet 2 choke, which isn't very common in the US, it's more of a European choke. But it's considered a pretty loose choke, where it goes from extra full, which is the tightest, down to full. And you got what, modified, and then there's improved, and then the cylinder. So that goes from the tightest to loosest. And I run, like I said, a pretty loose choke in that gun. In this choke, or in this gun, I run a modified, so that's like kind of like right in the middle. So I tend to shoot trap with a pretty loose choke because I can shoot pretty quick and I can get on target pretty quick. So I'd probably loosen up this choke just a little bit more. And you never want to shoot with a full unless you're waiting for that clay to get all the way out there and then you're shooting. All right, so this is what they call a clay or a clay pigeon. In trap, it doesn't matter how much you hit it. You can absolutely like just bomb the thing, it's gone, can't even see the orange, only the powder left from it. Or you can take off like a tiny little piece like this and it'll still count. No matter what, how much you hit it, it's still going to count as a hit. A crucial part of trap is your shotgun gauge size. The most common is 20 gauge and 12 gauge. I don't have a 10 gauge, but I have an 8, so there's that. And 410, which is almost never used for trap. It's actually not even allowed on our school's team because it's super expensive and clearly very small. So the higher the number, the smaller the shell, which doesn't really make any sense, but whatever. And 410 isn't even a gauge, it's measured in caliber. I think its actual gauge is 36. Oh! That's how you shoot trap. If you see your clay shooting right, then you're gonna have to put your sight, let's say the clay is right here, you're gonna wanna put your sight slightly to the left of it. If you're dead on and it's going up, you're gonna wanna shoot slightly above it. If it's going right, you're gonna wanna shoot slightly in front of it and to the right. That's the basics. This will be demonstrating the pump action shotgun instead of the semi-auto.
Oh.
There's a reason that I tend to use my semi-auto for trap instead of this, is because I don't like this little bead sight right here. I'd find it very hard to aim, so I tend to use the simpler sight on the semi-auto. I think I tried to use this for trap one time, and I got like a 13 out of 25, and my average is like 23. Thank you for watching my trap shooting video. Now you know everything you need to know about trap, like where to lead your shot, the gauges, the actions of the shotguns, and the stations.